We, the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant Orenthal James Simpson not guilty of the crime of murder in violation of Penal Code Section 187A, a felony upon Nicole Brown Simpson, a human being, as charged in count 1 of the information.
That was a moment where the world stopped. I remember being in school, and they let us watch that moment when O.J. Simpson was acquitted of the murder of his ex-wife and her friend, Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman. We found out about an hour ago that O.J. Simpson died at the age of 76, learning this from his family. Richard Crouse is the man who covers pop culture for CTV News Channel and Bell Media, and he is on the line. Richard, thanks for coming on this morning.
Oh, thanks for having me.
I want to read you a text message from a listener. I think it's a great way to start off this segment. So a listener just writes this in. Hi, why would you spend 1 millisecond talking about OJ? He's a murderer. No one cares about him, nor should. Go listen to some interviews with Fred Goldman's daughter talking about her brother who was killed by him. You'll change your mind real quick. How do you respond? How would you respond to someone who says, why are we even talking about this?
Well, I would say that one of the sort of things that the trial proved to us is that at least in 1994, in June of 1994, that celebrity had a way of overshadowing everything, including the victims of that trial. And that is not an endorsement of what happened. I think it is just simply what happened. Think back to the time when that trial was being aired on Court TV. I'm sure it's the highest rated thing that they've ever aired by 100 times. Jay Leno used to have the dancing Itos on, who were poking fun at the judge, Lance Ito, Kato Kalin, Marcia Clark, Johnny Cochran, goes on and on. Christopher Darnell became the subject of television news profiles. They became big stars in their own right, all because of O.J. Simpson, who had been perceived as a hero for many years, first player in the NFL to rush 2,000 yards, an MVP player, before that a Heisman Trophy Award winner, someone who had appeared on those famous Hertz car rental ads where he would run through the airport, at a time when people watched television and paid attention to what was happening on television and weren't distracted by social media or any other, the streaming services, whatever. He was a very, very big star on television, on the sports field, and in movies. And when this happened, the Shakespearean fall from grace aspect of the story, I think, ate up everything else. It completely decimated people's ideas about that kind of thing, and became a way of looking at celebrity differently than we had before. Before, it would have been about the victims. In this case, it was about O.J. Simpson, the accused murderer.
Yeah, and Richard, you rightfully point out what happened at that time, and the late night talk shows. It started in the morning on cable news, and then Court TV throughout the day, and then we'd wrap up our evening on late night TV making jokes. And then on the weekend, we'd all wait for Norm Macdonald, Quebec's own Norm Macdonald, to make his jokes on Weekend Update. It became all-consuming pop culture-wise.
Yeah, well, he had lived at the center of popular culture as an athlete, then as an accused murderer, and afterwards refused to go away. In 2016, which is a while ago now, but certainly a long time after the trial, he even tried to launch a new television show called Juiced, which was kind of like Punk'd, and it was a prank show. And one of the pranks was him trying to sell a white Bronco. Cast your mind back to 1994 when the white Bronco chase captivated, every news channel in the world was playing it, or certainly in North America. And it was... Sorry.
I know. Don't worry, Richard. I know you're the busiest man in the world. You're the most popular man right now, so I get it.
But he tried to sell a white Bronco with a bullet hole in the windshield, with an autograph of his around it. So think about what happened to O.J. Simpson in the time after that. I think he refused to believe that people didn't love him anymore, and he certainly had some supporters, but I think he refused to believe that he wasn't the hero anymore, that he wasn't this famous guy, or certainly not famous for being at the center of one of the biggest murder trials of all time.
Just to wrap, Richard, in the 30 seconds we have, what's the, like, for someone who you remembering those moments and has always been at the intersection of pop culture, what are the thoughts through your mind?
Well, for me, I remember Dominic Dunn. Dominic Dunn, the great writer for Vanity Fair magazine, whose daughter had been murdered in her own driveway, and he became a victim's right advocate, and he wrote really eloquently about the trial in Vanity Fair magazine. And I will never forget the look on his face when the jury declared O.J. Simpson not guilty. His jaw literally hit the floor in a way that you don't see in real life. It was almost like a cartoon chin hitting the floor. Because he couldn't believe it. That image has stayed with me, and it was the disbelief a lot of people felt when he was declared not guilty.
Richard Crouse covers pop culture for CTV News Channel and Bell Media. Always a pleasure, Richard. Be well.
Thanks for having me.
So I just want to, I want to point out one other thing here. When I went to L.A., and it was, when was it? It was before the pandemic. It's 2019. I went to Los Angeles, visit my friend, and one of the things that I did in L.A. is I went on the OJ tour, and it was a local Los Angeles guy, part-time actor kind of guy, that in his spare time, he ran these tours out of a Ford Bronco. He bought a used 94 white Ford Bronco, and he would do tours of Los Angeles, all the important spots in that murder trial, and all of the important spots, from the restaurants to where the murder happened. And, it was fascinating. And still to this day, we are 30 years later from when all of this went down. It still grabs our attention. Let me just point one thing out. There's a wonderful documentary, a 30 for 30 ESPN documentary. It's pretty sure it's on Crave, called June 17th, 1994. And it takes a look at the day in sports on the Ford Bronco chase day. It's just an incredible documentary. I'd recommend it, along with the other stuff that's been done on O.J. Simpson. The O.J. Simpson documentary that won the Academy Award a few years back.